You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the May 1st meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
If you want to start in, thanks. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Nell Murphy. I'm the Vice President of the Michigan City Tree Board, and in Jim's absence, I'll be running the meeting tonight. So welcome all, thank you, and glad everyone's here. And why don't we start with the roll call, please.
Jen Birchfield, present. Dennis Britton,
here.
Dominic Edwards, not here. Betsy Elsesser, here. Lori Henderson, I am here. James Mellowitz, not here. Mary Nell Murphy, here. Lydia Cora,
Here.
okay. Excellent.
Thank you. And next we'll go for the approval of the agenda for, and I didn't say it, for the May 1st, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. Okay, so yeah, approval of agenda. Do I have any questions or issues? I think approval of agenda first and then minutes. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay, second?
Second.
Great, so all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved, thank you. Next we'll go on to the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Any questions, issues?
Move approval.
Okay, do you have a second?
Second.
Okay. For any discussion before I vote, I just wanted to mention I had communicated with you, Mike, about a couple of name typos. I appreciate the mayor, Nell Murphy, but I think that's a couple years away, so I'll wait on that. And I think Dennis's name, I think that was about it. Okay, so all in favor of approving the minutes with those couple typos, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm abstaining because I wasn't.
That's right. Okay, minutes are approved. Thank you.
Oh, I was here. I approved.
Okay.
I abstained because I was not.
Okay, I knew someone was.
I'm going to abstain also.
Okay. Thank you all for being so honest and upfront. Okay, next we'll move on to the financial report. We have the cash report. I think you've all had a chance to look at that. Any discussion on that? Quick questions, issues? Let me sign this.
Since I'm new to this, can I ask how are we funded? Where do we get the money from?
Okay, well, we don't have very much. We get just a little bit from the council, and then
This pen goes with it.
Yeah.
there are some funds that we collect, like I'd say under $100 per year from donations from people that pick up free trees, and at the monthly farmers market desk that we have there.
That's what these 2 pages are.
Okay.
And there certainly won't be any funds directly for the tree board through it, but with the large grant that Michigan City has received through U.S. Forest Service of $1 million, there will be funds for urban forestry activities. Not necessarily at the discretion of the tree board, those are mandated in the grant language, but there's big opportunities there.
Excellent, thank you.
I think in the past that the tree board has had funding for trees, purchase of trees. But with 3 years with no forester, that was taken out. And I would like to see the city council put that back in.
Yeah, I think we could request that. I'd like to see us request that of the council as well, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly the time frame when the new budgets are created, but yeah, there would be an opportunity to put a line item in your budget. I certainly, the forestry department has 0 budget, so mine's going to look a whole lot different next year than it does this year.
Yes,
but,
yes. And I know with the next 5 years with, you know, the all of the work that will be involved in getting the trees planted. I don't know, I'm sure we can ask this year, but there's also a lot going on, for the next 5 years too.
What would help me is like how much was the budget that the council approved in the past and what was it spent for? That way, if I get asked any questions, at least I have some idea.
I can answer part of that. Like in the current budget, there is money set aside that I tap into for doing trees. I don't know how it came about being in this budget, but there is a budget line item in the Economic Development Fund.
Okay.
Under, there's one that is listed as other services and charges other contractual services. And I use the other contractual services for hiring tree crews to do work.
Okay.
And that dollar amount's $150,000 a year.
Okay.
Which is really light, but that's how much is in there.
Okay.
I would also ask, with the upcoming U.S. Forest Service grant, it's a 5-year grant over, it's a $1 million grant over 5 years, as I understand it.
Yes.
I'm not sure of the exact budget breakdown, but there will be needs of administration of that. I understand that most of those services will be contracted out,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
But there is administration that goes along with that.
Yes.
So it's a big opportunity, and I think it's worth investing in to make sure that it's successful.
Right. But with us, besides like the office for that, as far as the board, it's mainly been things like poster board for educational materials and that type of
Copies.
thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I've lost my place, but I don't know if we had a motion yet, but to approve the finances.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
One question, will we be collecting donations at the 2 events on Saturday?
Yes.
Do we have some kind of
Yes.
receptacle or something?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
A tip jar.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then we can move on to communications. I've got 5 items that I wanted to bring up. I'll just jump in on those if that's okay. And I thought we'd start with the Boys and Girls Club. I know there's been some communication about that for a May 8th event here in Michigan City.
Let's move to May 9th in the latest communications.
I didn't see that, thank you. May 9th, okay. Jen, do you have, or anyone have any other details on what's going on with that?
Yeah, so
Thanks.
I have to say, I got really excited when I saw this idea because it's Michigan City, it's kids, my kids go to Boys and Girls Club summer camp, so I perhaps ran with it a little too much. But I think where we've landed, based on what Phil Graff has recommended and what Sally from Boys and Girls Club is requesting, is that 4 trees, we're looking to plant 4 trees, about 1-inch caliper so that they're manageable for the kids, but also sturdy trees. On that date, at the Boys and Girls Club location in Michigan City, there's a vacant lot across from the Boys and Girls Club that is owned by Michigan City area schools, and they have permission to plant there.
Oh, great.
Yep. So
And then the trees, there won't be these seedlings that,
well, and that's the thing, I think, and maybe you can update us, Michael, about sourcing those trees, because there will be some needs. I think there's a need to source those trees and also to procure mulch for those trees, and also to make sure that there's an appropriate watering source and mechanism for watering those trees throughout the summers. So you might know more than I do.
The 4 trees that we're trying to find I haven't found them yet.
Okay,
Need to be, exactly, she said, 1 inch to 2 inch caliper, 1 gallon size. That we need 4 of them. The trees, he had requested, I had talked to Phil, he had requested a couple of species. Hackberry was one,
that's a good one.
sweet gum was another, and I don't remember the others. There's like 5. I probably have it somewhere in this mess, but I told Phil that we would get him this 4 trees. I just have not been able to find them. I went through nursery, they didn't do it. When I went down to pick up the trees, I called them ahead of time and said, hey, while I'm down there, can I get these trees? They didn't have any. So we need to come up with some trees. I did share with Jennifer, and we just, as you guys were coming in, we were talking to Andrea Nichols, and she is helpful with information.
You want to explain who she is?
I'm sorry, Andrea Nichols works for NIPSCO, and she used to be involved heavily in tree replacement, that type of thing. I used to work with Andrea for a number of years. And so I called Andrea while we were sitting here and bounced her to see if she had, could give me any info. And like I said, she did say that they have, she's not involved in that, but she gave me the idea, somebody who I can contact.
Okay, great.
Who I've worked with. So I will call her and ask her also if she can supply either the trees or the funding for that.
Okay,
Great.
So
excellent, okay.
we're working on that. But the thing is coming up in about a week.
A week,
so
right.
We don't have any time.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a couple of bags of mulch left over from maybe 2 years
Oh,
ago.
okay,
That somehow got from the back of my car to my carport. So I can provide some mulch, but I won't be able to attend this event. I'll be elsewhere. If there's a place where I could drop it off, maybe after the meeting you could let me know if that's acceptable, and I will drop off an appropriate amount of mulch.
Or Mike, are you gonna be attending that?
Yeah, I'll be there
Would you,
Saturday morning, definitely.
for the event on the 9th?
On the 9th, I had it on my calendar, but the mayor put
I
another
see,
meeting over.
fine. No, I just was gonna say maybe the mulch could get to you and you could bring it, but.
Yeah, I think if you can get the mulch to Michael or to me, or we can reach out to Boys and Girls Club and see if we can just store it
Okay,
inside.
so we
Yeah,
can,
that would be easiest for me.
okay, yeah.
It's in
Let's-
Michigan City, I can just pick it up and drive it over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
we
we'll
can
work
reach
out
out.
those details after this. And then I know Dominique had hoped to get some trees, but I don't think that's gonna happen with these, and maybe she'll be happy with the seedlings, so I'll reach out to her after this meeting to see what her needs are and expectations are. Okay, anything else on that?
Where else are you looking for these trees?
Pardon me?
Where else are you looking for the trees?
Everywhere. I've been to a couple of nurseries and nobody has them. So my next point was gonna be to try and see if even Lowe's or Menards has any of these.
Oh,
I will volunteer to check with Menards.
Yeah. thank you.
And I will also check with the Student Conservation Association. I
Oh,
believe
good.
they've already
Good.
done their procurement, and I'm not sure if they could work out something with us, but I will just check with
Right.
them and see if they have
And
any of
if
those.
all else fails, I'll get with Phil and we'll have to come up with Plan B.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I will say, NERC Community is not offering a spring round of planting, but we will have a fall.
Okay,
So, hopefully we can do all 4 trees to kick off, but worst case scenario, if we need to do 2,
right.
we can perhaps supplement with an application in the fall.
That sounds very realistic, because I assume the kids are gonna be doing the digging.
Yes.
And more
So-
importantly, the watering.
Good, yes,
Right,
good.
so, if they can keep a couple of trees alive all summer, they can be rewarded with a couple more.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good approach.
Very good. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next item of communications. So I think everyone who's on the board should be getting emails from the Indiana Division of Forestry that look like, with their header, with things about tree stewardship workshops and stuff.
Can I interrupt
Yes.
just to read this? This is the email from
Oh,
today.
yes, oh, from today, yes,
Yeah,
from the Boys and Girls Club about
Yes.
the May 9th planting.
Yes.
Thank you.
let's see. I would like to invite you all to the event. Please see the official invitation below. I hope some or all of you can make it to witness the excitement. And I think all of us have this in our emails, but you may not have seen it yet. Thank you for your time, knowledge, and guidance. I truly appreciate it. On Thursday, May 9th, Boys and Girls Clubs of LaPorte County will unite with 31 other club organizations across the state of Indiana for a day of service. Thanks to our partnership with Michigan City Area Schools, we will be planting the 4 trees you are providing on the vacant lot across from our Westcott Club, located at 321 Detroit Street. Our club members, families, and friends will also enjoy a visit from the Kona Ice Truck and a tree-related craft project. There may also be some local and regional media in attendance. We appreciate your help and support and would love to have you join us for this exciting event. The Kona Ice Truck will arrive at 4 p.m. and we expect the tree planting at 4:15 p.m. That's from Sally Ripper.
And I would just want to make sure that we have someone available who is knowledgeable about planting trees. Is Phil planning? You said you might not be able to attend. Is Phil? I plan to attend, so I could.
The Boys and Girls Club,
Yes,
Phil's running it.
he is. Okay, I just want to make sure that we have someone knowledgeable. I'll be
My
there
only
too.
tip is dig the hole before the ice truck comes around, or the trees come around.
And the kids disappear.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So thank you, Jen, for being at that event. Anyone else on the tree board able to attend that May 9th at 4 p.m.?
I hope to.
Possibly.
Okay. Okay. Anything else on that event? Okay.
Take a picture for our Facebook page.
Oh yes.
I'm going to move on then on one of the Division of Forestry emails talking about a tree steward training workshop May 21st and 22nd, 9 to 3, and it's over at Auburn, which is near Fort Wayne, north of Fort Wayne. So if anyone's able to attend that would be great. It's $15, but it's a ways to drive back and forth.
When was that sent?
April 26th. And if any questions, you can see me after the meeting too.
What was the date?
May 21st and 22nd from 9 to 3.
So is that going to be like the,
It's a tree steward training workshop.
And I believe both Laura and you have attended that.
okay, I
It'll
just
be that
wanted,
same thing.
all right, I just wanted to know that.
Okay, let's see. Another communication then was, Mike, I see you had provided us with a press release on Earth Day, Arbor Day, and a licensed arborist guide. And I see that made it into, along with our wonderful picture, into the Dispatch, the Herald Dispatch, May 24th, 25th, something like that. I think it got to several people because I do a Meals on Wheels delivery of 12 stops on Monday, and 3 of the people, including, this is how I got a copy and found out about it, said, "Oh, you're famous." So the word is getting out there, and it was a nice write-up and included lots of details. So I've got that. The online doesn't have that nice report, but it's still.
So did
And I
this,
did post this on our Facebook page.
great,
Yeah.
is this mentioning Saturday's event?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. it's mentioning, this coming Saturday, the 2 events, in the morning at the farmer's market, in the afternoon at Kruger. And it also mentions, I thought, this one doesn't mention the grant, but it does mention in the currently licensed arborist that Mike provided. So I have that to look at later if you like.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Anything else then on the press release? Thank you for getting that out.
Good job. Picked up.
Yes, it was nice. One of them got picked up. Okay, and then today, you all should have received something from Madeline Gullen, who's an urban forestry specialist at Community and Urban Forestry, CUF, and she seems upbeat and ready to help us with hosting meetings, contacting stakeholders, community engagement, so on. So, Mike, you would suggest that we invite her, or Jim, that we invite her to the next meeting.
And which would be easy. She and I have talked. I called her this morning, and we had a nice conversation. She graduated from Rodham College, and I went there.
Earlham?
Or Earlham, I'm sorry. Earlham. I attended their, well, the classes I was taking there was in seminary classes, and I had to do 2-week intensive there. So I didn't actually graduate from there, but I attended there and got my certification there. But yeah, I called her because I caught that we'd gone to the same school, of course, several decades apart, but.
It's still a nice connection.
Well, that's great. And if you can let her know of our schedule, she's
I
welcome
will.
to all the meetings.
She is providing me with some funding, grant funding. I went over some
Excellent.
programs that I'm working on for the city that I don't have, at this point, they're all pieces of work in progress, and I'm looking for funding. So she's helping me locate some funding for those.
Excellent. When I read it just before coming to this meeting, and she said something about helping with tree planting. Now, I want to know more specifics. Does that mean she's going to help us dig? Does that
Or
mean
get
she's
people to dig.
get people,
Right.
recruit people? Where is she
I believe
located?
she's their office is out of Indy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So she's not gonna be just popping into our meetings every month.
Not likely, although I have found that DNR Community Urban Forestry is very enthusiastic and very excited about working in this region. So if there's a big event,
Yeah.
they will come up, but probably won't be popping up weekly.
Sure, not in the region.
Do we know where she lives?
In the Indy area, yeah.
Maybe she could meet with Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, anything else on that?
I just noticed that a lot of the services she's talking about, it sounds very much like what SCA is doing. So
I popped out at me too.
maybe she would need to talk to Leo.
I believe she knows Leo through some meetings.
Yeah.
I think that she could be a wonderful resource for, especially if, as you said, Michael, pursuing funding opportunities, which I understand we have $1 million grant that we have to do, so maybe we're not actively pursuing big funding opportunities. But I think she has offered to help with anyone who's interested in pursuing funding, especially through the Indiana DNR grant opportunity
Super.
that's open through July. I think she's very interested in helping with that, and her expertise seems to be in community engagement.
Great, we could use that. Well, we have that $1 million grant, that's true, but I don't think there's a line item in there to buy trees or very many trees.
Well, I think it was mostly for SCA to do.
Right,
Right,
the way
because we're coordinating with
yeah, we're
SCA.
providing them
Yeah.
funds and they will purchase them.
So, yeah, but as far as when we want to plant trees, here and there, like for the Boys and Girls Club, we just don't have a budget for that.
And that grant is open through July. Zero match Indiana DNR urban forestry grants are open through July. up to 250,000. So I think it's a matter of capacity, you know, what type of grant could be managed on top of that 1 million.
Well, would that be something that could fund just trees for
Absolutely.
Michigan City?
Like Dominique said she wanted, and
Yeah. I would sure think so. I don't know what the minimum request is. It's probably in the range of 20,000 or so. So it would have to be a somewhat substantial request over 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, over 3 years, okay.
Okay, so the deadline for that, applying for that is coming up?
It's in July,
It's in July.
so there
Yeah.
is some time.
But not a lot.
Okay, maybe you could bring us some details on how to
Yeah,
apply. and
absolutely.
I'd be happy to work on that.
I'll email those out to you.
Excellent, yeah.
And then we can continue the discussion. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's great.
And I think Madeline would be available to help us kind of talk through.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Tell me again who that's Indiana DNR?
Yes.
And a DNR, yep.
CUF.
Okay.
Community Urban Forestry, yep.
Yeah, that could be very helpful. Okay, and another item then from the Forest Service is there's going to be on May 8th like a Zoom or a webinar on food deserts to food forests in dry climates. Looks like Nevada and Arizona might be leading that, so I don't know if anyone here wants to attend that, but you should have received that for a webinar on May 8th, but it may not be real close to our climate interests here.
Even so, that may be of interest to Dominique.
Yeah. I'll note that too. Okay, I think for communications, that's what I have. Do you have any more, Laura, as secretary, anything else you've received?
That's all I know.
Okay. That's what I had there. Okay, and this is on the Boys and Girls Club. Okay. Okay. So moving on to committee reports, education and outreach. With the farmers market, we talked about this last month, and I did reach back out to Chantel, who organizes the farmers market, and she again welcomed us and said, since we're a city group, we don't need permission to be there, but she's looking forward to having us there.
Great.
Anything else on education and outreach?
I have a question
Yeah.
there, just because I'm also new to this.
Oh yeah, I should kind of say
Well,
what we do.
I know that the tree board has a presence at the farmer's market. Is it just kind of open, whoever from the tree board is available shows up? Is there a sign up? I'm not available at the first one because I have to work for NERC at the Earth Day event. But I'm on board for future farmers markets.
Usually what we do is the meeting before
Okay.
the next one, we kind of,
Okay.
we don't take attendance and match it to what people said, but it's actually been very well attended by the tree board, which is nice. So I'll mention that at the Michigan City Farmers Market, and we've now gone to having it showing up on the first Saturday
Okay.
of each month until May through October. And we encourage everyone to attend, and it's really nice and helpful for the community, and almost everyone comes up to us and says, I didn't know Michigan City had a tree board. So
That's how I found out.
it's a good way to get the word out. This actually reminds me of something I was going to bring up when we get to the tree giveaway, and that is that we need tables and chairs. So I've got a table and some chairs to bring. Dennis?
Yeah, I have a large folding table that I used to use at the farmer's market when I did the Master Gardener Q&A. I have a problem that I can't get there till 9, and I have to leave right at 12 because I'm going into Chicago. If someone could swing by, it's certainly not as big as this, but it's probably a good 6 feet.
I've got one that I can bring this, not quite this wide, but I think this
But it's
long.
a folding one,
So,
yeah.
so why don't you bring yours at 9?
I think that would work.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're not
I have
gonna
a-
put all of them out at the same time.
I have
Okay,
a folding
alright.
That'd be great.
table in the back of my car right now. It's basically 2 feet by 4 feet. And it's a little on the small side, but it's something I could easily set up on my own.
That sounds really good for the non-tree giveaway Saturdays, but it's a little small, I think, for this Saturday.
Well, I'll bring
I'll
it
bring-
just in case,
Okay,
because it's
fine.
already in my
Sure.
car.
I'll bring mine, and if you can bring yours at 9.
Right.
And then what we've done is we've, laid out samples of the kinds of trees that we have. And I know last year, and I know Mike is kind of a unknown area of where documents ended up, but there were some laminated sheets, just 8.5 by 11, that had a picture of the trees that we had last year. Many of them are the same, with a description on them. And then we put those out, and people could go by and say, "Oh, I want one of those and one of those."
I wonder if Tim has those.
If Tim did, he would have given them to
Right,
me.
by this point.
And I
yeah.
haven't seen anything.
That's a shame. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we could
So what I
quickly make some up.
did, please do. What I did in the meantime, and I'll bring some copies, is I think I sent this out to everyone.
Yes.
And I took this was great, from the DNR site. And I sent it to the whole board. And it lists all the trees that that we have now. Thank you, Mike, for picking those up today. And then I just copied what the DNR had, their columns, which is great. The species, years to maturity, the mature height, soil drainage, seed-bearing light, their needs like full sun, and their value, wildlife habitat mainly. And these are obviously just the native trees, just the ones that we picked up. I think I threw a tulip tree in there as well that we didn't get, but it's our state tree, so I threw it in there. So I'll make several copies of these that people can leaf through. But yeah, if you want to do anything on the trees we're getting, that would be great. But yeah, it's Saturday, so.
Yeah, I think I'm out of ink. But next time.
Yeah.
I can print up for the 4 trees that we have a lot of, but for the 14 trees that we'll only have a couple of,
Yeah. What we've done before, I think you've done, and I'm gonna do, is I've got some books like Trees of Indiana and Trees of Michigan as well. And then people can look through those with the descriptions, and we'll have that, so.
I've talked to people about what kind of tree they want or what they need, because most people are not going to take the time to look it up in a book at the farmer's market, although a few do. But basically, a lot of people don't know one tree from the other.
I printed a couple copies of these, so you can take a look at that, but I'll bring it, other copies, but I don't think we need more than like 10.
No,
because we're not gonna give them away.
We're not giving these out.
Yeah.
Have we decided how many trees per customer we're giving out? Because last year, there were people who wanted all the evergreens.
Right.
And they had a farm to put them on or something like that. And
I thought we were only giving out 1 or 2 person.
What I'm going to suggest,
until we got to the end.
What I'm going to suggest is that we give out 1 per person per. But if they have like 3 people in their family, we could give them 3 trees. Some people are there and they're going to take some trees home and they have.
Or 1 or 2 kids.
Usually 2 is good because you give them 1 and it may not survive, and that's a sour grape kind of experience.
Especially with some of the fruit trees, you need the 2 trees for pollination.
Right.
So,
okay, well, I think 2 per person is a good number.
With the notice that come back at the end of the day and we may have some.
How was the stock last year?
We ordered many more, and some of them did not survive.
No.
We got 1,000 last year, and this year we're getting, I think, 680.
Okay.
But
So we might need to be a little more.
Last year, Tim picked them up a little too early. And so he was trying to keep them alive in his I don't know what, carport or something like that, and some of them just die.
It's hard with those. Do we tend to give those out kind of, are they wrapped in, how do we give them out?
They're loose in mulch,
Okay.
and so I was gonna mention too, to bring twine and, I think last year we had even like
Plastic
colored-
bags.
Oh, yeah, plastic,
Everyone
everyone
the recycling.
bring, yes,
at
right,
Al's.
plastic bags.
Right, okay.
And it seems like we had, and Sharpies, and we had a tape that we would wrap around it, so and then just wrote the name on the tree so that they, when they got home, they would remember what kind of tree it was. But yeah, anyone?
I think that's critical, is just to have something like that, plastic bags, or even just,
Yeah.
moist paper towel.
Right,
Because once those,
Yeah, that's a good
bare root
idea.
ones dry
Yeah.
out, they're done.
yeah, they are.
But they
Well,
can
and then-
really succeed if they're,
Yeah, we tell them to plant them right
Yeah.
away.
That
But,
day
you know,
or
They
tomorrow.
don't, they don't always do
Right.
that.
Okay, and our banner and flag, so I've got the flag I can bring, but I think the banner we still don't. We
I
haven't-
think I have the pen.
Oh, fantastic. Bring it if you can.
Yeah.
To both the events, that'd be great.
And I made, the handouts with, how to plan.
Fantastic.
fantastic.
And, then
And it's-
the other side is the tree board
With our
with
logo,
Mike's
excellent.
name and phone number. Because, you know, a lot of people, that's news to a lot of
That's
people.
excellent.
I ran out of colored ink,
That's fine.
and then I ran out of paper.
Oh,
So I have like 150 copies here. If anybody thinks we need more than that, last year I made more copies than we gave away. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I know how to plant trees.
and we can also say, because I put that on our Facebook page, you know, that the directions, and I'll re-put them out there after the event.
Okay, but if anybody has a burning desire to make more copies, here they
So I'll
are.
take one.
Betsy, if you could email that to me.
I don't think I have the picture.
I do have that, but I don't have
The,
this part.
Do you wanna
with
take
this.
yeah, I will email that to you, that's easy to do. Because I had to rewrite that.
Can I have one copy? And I'll bring copies.
Sure. Almost colored.
That would be great if you could just email me this with Michael's name on it.
Sure.
Because I have one that has Nicole's name on it.
Oh, yes, I do too from last year.
Yeah, I still have
I have
50 of those left.
Maybe 100 of them, actually.
And Michael, you said you would bring the poster boards from last year on tree care. Did you find easels with those as well? Okay,
Got one.
one's better than none.
Do you need more easels?
I think there's 2 poster boards, right?
Yeah, well, I have 2 boards, 1 easel.
Okay.
Well, the main attraction is going to be the trees, so,
They were, but it was very nice to have, certainly at
yes,
the, at
especially at
Kruger.
the park.
I'll see if I can.
Okay.
Source one, I might be.
Thank you.
Better at the park. We got coverage. I don't know what the weather's like.
It's gonna be
Saturday.
beautiful.
Good, thank you.
I don't
I'll
know.
hold you to that.
Okay. And I think everyone got as well, I sent out, the list of what all the trees are that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think you passed that on to someone too.
Put on Facebook.
And as a reminder, we're getting 100 each of white pine, persimmon, Shumard oak.
I think it's
Sycamore.
Chinkapin. Oh, I think it was changed to Chinkapin.
Oh,
That's not what we got. We got the,
Shumard.
Schumann.
Okay. And 100 sycamore. In addition to those 400, we have 2 wildlife packets that have 140 trees each in them. 10 each of, okay, I'll go through it. American plum, black cherry, black gum, my personal favorite. Black chokeberry, common choke cherry, chinkapin oak, elderberry, hazelnut, silky dogwood, pawpaw, persimmon again, red oak, shagbark hickory, and Washington hawthorn. So that's a lot of different kinds of trees. So hopefully, you know, people will be happy with those. Let's see.
They'll always ask for a tree that we don't have.
Of course.
Probably something non-native.
Right, right,
Where are the red buds?
right.
There are lots of people's
Yes,
yards.
they're overplanted happily.
Where are maples?
Okay, so are we set then for the tree giveaway? Anything else? Everyone is.
So I'm just wondering who all is gonna be there.
Well, I'll be at both events.
Yeah. I'll be there in
And
the
Dennis as
morning.
well.
morning.
I will try to get there at 8. It might be 8:15 because I gotta let the dog out.
That's okay.
I'll be there at both, Mary Nell.
Yeah, and I'll be there just at the morning.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, I can go for maybe the first hour. And if I need to help move trees, I can, and stuff, I can do that too, but then I'm not gonna be able to stay for that. So I have an event that evening.
So do I. The afternoon starts what time?
1 to 4.
And do we need to set up beforehand?
Yeah, I think
Maybe
we'll,
12:30?
Sure we do.
we'll break it down at the farmer's market and just take it over to Kruger.
Okay,
Well, Michelle Pasta from the Sustainability Commission will be there with her truck or trailer or something to haul trees over, so she could
Okay.
probably haul
Oh, that would be great.
tables over as well,
From the farmer's market.
from the farmer's
So
market
that's great. That's great.
to Krieger.
well, I can haul a few things. Okay. But what
Okay.
time does she wanna, we'll be breaking down at noon.
Yeah.
And then she'll probably go straight over there.
Bring a sandwich.
I was about to say.
Okay.
Food truck, farmer's market.
Okay, anything else on the tree giveaways? 8 to noon at the farmer's market and 1 to 4 at Kruger Park.
Okay, no, Andy did schedule me for 2 small hikes
right.
the afternoon.
Nature
So
hikes.
at 1:30 and 3, I'll be running off briefly.
And I won't be there.
I'll be there the whole time.
Oh, good.
I'll be
Okay.
there, I'll be officially on the clock at NERC we're actually gonna do Climate Jeopardy. So
Oh, I
come
like
see
it,
us.
yeah.
But I will check, NERC has some pop-up arboretum signs, and I will check in particular, I'll bring them and see what we have and come a little early. Especially if we have any that overlap with what the tree board is giving away. Those are available for loan, so we
Super.
can bring those and set those
Super.
out. They're also intended for when you're doing your hike, I could take a little walk earlier and see if I identify any of those trees that we have and tie one of those signs to the
Excellent.
mature trees, so that way people could see.
Oh, I love
Do you
what
have
they look
signs
like.
for invasives?
We don't have any signs for invasives, we only have
This is-
signs for natives.
Tons
They
of
just
burning
have-
bush out there, but there's also a lot of oaks.
Okay, I think we have most of the Indiana oaks, we have signs for those, so maybe I'll go a little bit early and see
Okay.
if I can identify some. What, are you taking that route when you're outside of Kruger to the north of the
Just kind of go
building?
straight back out of there, and then there's a path.
Okay, yep,
I don't know if it's north.
okay, I'll take a look.
Do you know if Jim is coming?
I don't know. He didn't say.
He didn't say. It sounds like, at the end of the day, well, maybe we'll give out all the trees and then I don't have to stay till 4. But I can take some, if we have leftovers, I can take some with me at the end of the day.
That's fantastic, but you're not gonna be there.
Yeah, she is.
Well, it's till 4, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought you had to leave early.
No, I don't have to leave early.
Okay.
But I do have an event in the evening.
Yeah. Is it the Shirley Hines?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, me too. But that starts at
I've
like
already paid for that, so.
Well, and he starts at like 5:30 and it's over at
Oh,
Belleville.
it's at 5:30. Oh,
Anyway, we'll talk later, I'm sorry.
I'll be there too if things. need to
Okay.
change.
Okay, good, thank you.
So Jen, are you gonna be there in the afternoon, in the morning, or
I'll be there in the afternoon
Okay.
representing NERC, so I'll be there, I can bring some things and help with
Okay.
that, but I will be,
Well, it sounds like at least 3 of us will be at both, we're covering both events.
Do you think you would be able to attend or drop in or at the farmer's market? Want to see what it's like? If you're,
Yeah, I try to, but
Okay.
I am on call this coming week.
okay, but if you're at the
Oh, that
farmer's
sounds
market,
good.
come and say hello.
I will,
Okay.
thank you.
let me take a picture.
I also have a sheet that I found from some time ago about people signing up to help tree planting in the fall.
Yes.
Should I bring that, or will we have
that's
enough
a great
going
idea.
on?
I think, yeah,
But there's a
bring it.
lot going on.
Yeah,
Pretty
last
flexible
year
for
we
me.
collected phone numbers, and I called 12 different phone numbers because we had to change the date of the fall plan, and not one of those people was able to.
You need to get emails.
Yes.
Emails would be great,
Yes.
because it would be fairly simple to just
You
start
can
maintaining a volunteer or community member email list.
Sounds simple, but.
Yeah, it's not, it would fall on someone, but,
Well, I'll bring that with the clipboard and see if we get
Okay.
a couple of names.
And I'm gonna send a follow-up email after this that, on the prep, asking people to bring plastic bags, twine, Sharpies, that kind of thing, what we need. Great. Okay, anything else on that? Because we still have a full agenda.
Well, that's our big day, so.
It is our big, big annual day. Okay, I'm gonna move on, a little bit on Facebook. We finally are over 100 followers.
Yay.
And I've been putting some of, stuff out on this, and I did participate in a thunderclap that Forest Service asked us to do for Arbor Day, where everyone that received one of the grants, they asked if they would have a, hashtag, U.S. Forest Service and what the grant and so on, and so participated in that, and that was picked up by Sustainability, and I think Community also posted that, and I posted something from you all, which was awfully cute. So that's it on Facebook. Talked about the press release. Okay. And annual tree planting, tree request list, watering reminders. So I think maybe last meeting, Mike, you said you were going to contact the people to remind them about watering.
Yeah, I have not done that yet, but it's on my calendar.
Great.
And that's another reason to get email addresses, because it's much easier to do a bulk list
Sure.
and put in, and everybody gets one instead of calling 50 people.
Yeah.
One email.
and I think it gets more important as, we've had some rain, but as the summer goes on,
Yes,
we have a
you're right,
drought like we did
timing-wise.
last year.
Now,
Really important.
we haven't been collecting names and contacts of people who get free trees.
No,
It's just for people who,
the community,
who want to volunteer.
Right. And just, a suggestion, if whenever you send out any kind of bulk email, is put everyone's emails in the blind copy. I just send it to yourself so
Right.
that all kinds of people aren't receiving other
Right,
people's
right.
emails. Okay. I'll tell you about my work in security after this.
Does the city communications have access to like constant contact or anything like that? Or
I don't know.
is that really something we could, constant contact, we don't have anything like that?
What are you calling it?
Just like a service, constant contact is, a service where you kind of send out mass emails. It's not important, I was just
Yeah, I
curious.
don't believe we do.
Okay,
I'm not positive, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for committee reports, unless anyone wants to bring anything else up. Okay, so moving on to the arborist report from Mike, and Mike provided a printout of the arborist report. I think you all got that. You want to go through that, Mike?
I'm gonna
Did you want to
kind of
copy?
pick and choose. I've got
Sorry, did you want to copy?
two of the bigger ones in there, and actually listed also in new business.
Okay,
I did get all the responses back for our city tree inventory, which is in the grant, and went through all of those, went through it again with legal, and
good.
selected a company to do our tree inventory.
Oh,
And this will go before the Board of Works as a recommendation, but it's just, at this point, I've already done that. Again, legal's putting together the Board of Works stuff, but Great Lakes Urban Forestry is the proposed grant person for doing our tree inventory. Also, I sent out for a specialized tree company to do annual, get a contract with the city to do tree work. and went through that process. That's been done. Selected Davy Tree as the company that will get our contract for all the city tree work.
And that also goes to BOW for approval.
Oh, actually, yeah. And I don't expect there to be any headache there, but yeah, it does. Thing that for the tree board, my job has become a lot more of, now that it's spring, people are starting to look at trees, and I'm getting a lot more calls of city dead trees.
Sure.
I did 33 tree risk assessments.
That's a lot.
And these are all just level 1 assessments. I'm not getting crazy with them, but I've done 33. And actually on my clipboard for tomorrow morning, on my way into work, I'm gonna do 11 more. So.
And you are TRAC certified?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what an asset we have. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I am ISA arborist, utility arborist, and track.
Fantastic.
We can sure pick them, can't we?
Yes, it's a big asset.
It was a long, painful process, and we got
Mr. Wolf, I have a question. This service, do you provide it for free or do you charge for?
The service to the city, these are trees that the city is paying for. So these are city trees that are dead, dying, and diseased that pose a risk to the community.
If somebody, a resident in the city, is concerned about a tree in their yard, can they call you?
Yes, they do. And I will go out and make an assessment on those. Individual people, any person in the city is actually responsible for their own tree.
Yeah.
However, and that's part of the program I was talking with Nicole about, was I need funding. I wrote a program to supply trees, tree removal, and 2 new tree plants for people who just can't afford it.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's.
What about the service where you just assess and say, this needs to come down?
I do that for free. I just go out, they call and say, hey, I've got a tree, we've got to look at it. I'll come look at it and say, yes, this tree it's dead and it just doesn't realize it. It may have a little green on it. It's in the final stages of failure. In my opinion, I can't tell them exactly where a tree's gonna fall. I mean, but I can give them a hint that you need to deal with this tree sooner than later, because it's in imminent failure.
And then they can call somebody, a private.
Right, and then that's why we have the list of authorized or licensed arborists. They can choose any of those or all of them and call them and ask them for a quote.
Okay, thank you.
It can, I believe, get kind of complicated, these things, in terms of if the tree is located in the city's right-of-way versus further in on the individual's property, which has liability ramifications. And so my understanding is with the new US Forest Service grant, that included, I believe, tree inventory that would include assessment of hazard trees and kind of ranking of the level of risk, because there are a lot of dead or dying trees that might be high risk. So the idea is to do a comprehensive inventory of the trees in the city and which ones need to be removed or pruned or addressed, so that you can kind of prioritize your work.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
So, but that's all. I need to get the inventory done so I can get a better feel for how many trees I'm
it's
gonna
coming, yeah.
But I've already got it priced out. I just have to figure out how much I'm gonna spend over the next year or two.
And I would encourage that IDNR Community Urban Forestry grant that's open through July, they will fund removal of hazardous high-risk trees. They have to be replaced 2 to 1.
Yep.
But we have a need, they don't have to be replaced in the same spot, but we do have a need for trees, so perhaps that could be an application. It's really expensive to remove a dead tree, but that could be coupled of, we're going to remove 50 or 100 dead or hazardous trees and replace them with 100 or 200 new trees throughout the city.
Right. So, but that's, I've just been busy playing with trees. So I'll leave it at that.
And then the final item on there, continue to monitor progress on the Forest Service with the tree, like the reports that are, I mean, I know this, our first year is a big planning year.
Yeah.
And all of that, and that's all, you're in communication with Drew and.
Drew and I talk probably every couple of weeks. And we're right on track.
Great.
Everything's going great, which is
That's what I
good.
wanted to hear, yeah.
So
Who is Drew?
Drew is the,
Drew Hart.
yeah.
With the US Forest Service.
Forest Service, from where we're getting the grant?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of coordinating that.
Okay, thanks.
That's who we've been meeting with.
Yeah,
And
I forget
did
his
bring
title.
this, Jim Milovets had requested, I had mentioned that I had put together, I'm working on this for the tree board. Well, for the city, but specifically, the concept was for the tree board. And it's kind of the everything you want to know about buying street trees. And I was afraid to ask. Talks about grates, it talks about sidewalk trees, best species. I've got a section on site moisture. I've got one on sunlight. And then you can kind of pick and choose trees based on the environment, the right tree, right place. You can see the environment that this tree is going to be in. So let's narrow it down. You can kind of pick through and see what kind of a tree might best be suited for that environment. Obviously the planting instructions and things. But I put this together, like I said, for the tree board, because you will be soon buying trees again, and it's good to have, combined with the knowledge of the information we're gonna get from our inventory, we can then determine the best trees to purchase to put where. So, but Jim had said he wanted to see a copy. Like I said, it's a work in progress, so I will give him a copy. This is actually his copy, or the board's copy, but as you can see, I don't even have the tabs in it because I didn't have it. So, but this is the information.
And you also have that in your office that we come in and look at it?
I have another copy in my office. Yeah, the ones, I give this one to Tim for the tree board. I've got the master copy that, like I said, it's a work in progress. So mine may be actually more up to date than yours, but I'm gonna try and get all this information. I wanted to get the information out to you guys so that we now have a educated view of what we need to purchase based on the soil, sunlight, and whatever of our city where you're gonna plant, so.
Oh, I guess given your difficulties in finding just 4 trees, I'd like to know, how far ahead do we need to make orders for nurseries to buy the trees that we need or that we want?
Well, it depends on where you're buying them. If you're buying bald trees, that are larger trees, Dog Hill Farms, I've been in contact with them. They've got, of that size or that type of tree, they have an ample supply. They're also, I talked to them about, as we determine that, let's say the environment's gonna change and it's gonna get warmer, and we anticipate that 3 years from now, instead of buying this species of tree, we're gonna want a tree that is more heat tolerant, or more sun tolerant, or more shade tolerant. They will put in their inventory specifically for us trees that we feel we're gonna need. So,
And if I could interject, that's fantastic to know that we have a nursery that's a little bit more local for smaller quantities, absolutely. I cannot advocate for any nursery, I'll disclose that. But I will say the two nurseries that have passed NERC's request for qualifications through our grants are Possibility Place in Joliet, Illinois, and Woody Warehouse in Liston, Indiana, near Indy. And that's a drive, and that's a delivery cost. They don't, it's not like you just go pick them up. But they have very high quality native trees. When NERC does procure trees, and SCA as well, and other partners, the earlier in the season that you can do it, the better.
Sure.
Because everyone who's getting trees is going out to tag them, and they're looking for the highest quality trees and the diversity of species. So if you're ordering a large amount of trees, you want to get down there or talk to those people early to see if they have what you need.
And especially now with other communities getting these
grants,
$1 million and such
I am
grants.
quite concerned that
Right.
there might be a shortage of
Yes.
trees in a few years.
Yeah.
If we don't find more nurseries.
Right.
So I just say that because if, knowing that we are not likely, we'll be working with the Student Conservation Association through the grant, right? So they know the protocol for all of that. But if we did know that we needed some trees, if we were purchasing a smaller quantity, there are other partners that are because delivery costs hundreds of dollars. But we have in the past through Communitree clustered our
Bundled them, yeah.
deliveries together,
Yeah.
so they could perhaps be delivered to NERC or to Student Conservation Association, and then somebody take them in and pick
The
up.
local pickup,
Yeah, and so partners will work together on that kind of thing if we needed a larger quantity.
That's great.
the tree farm, I'm familiar with them, first name basis wise. So that's why it was there in my stuff, because
That's
I'm
great.
familiar with them.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And they did not have the trees that you need for the Boys and Girls.
They don't have they don't carry gallon size container. Most of the places have larger trees. So,
Possibility Place has a lot of smaller trees, but they're not retail, and they're not gonna, they're not the place,
Minute.
they're not the place to go for four
trees.
trees.
Beachside Gardens is very local, has stock, and they have donated lots of mulch and soil. So they might be a place we could purchase the trees, they would continue a very good relationship that they have.
That's great.
what was the name of that place?
Beachside,
They're on
Beach.
12, I believe?
yeah, they're on 12.
Because Laura Clark used to be on the tree board.
That's right, yeah.
Beachside Garden.
Yeah. I bought several trees at Smalls
On
30,
20.
20.
20. I went there yesterday, and I stopped and talked to them, walked there. They had, what I was looking for, the gallon size. They didn't have any for us.
Yeah, they have
Yeah, it tends
It's-
to be more 5 gallon.
catch as catch can over there.
7 is the,
Yeah,
I will say though, I do think that a 5 to 7 gallon could be very manageable for kids if they're supervised. That tends to be what community plans we do with kids all the time.
is
So if
that
they-
about 70 pounds though?
I mean, it's heavy, but if there are adults kind of helping to supervise,
You could,
I think it's manageable. We've planned it up to like 15 gallon with kids, as long as they're supervised and depending on the soil. So I wouldn't take 5 to 7 gallon off the table if they have what the species that we need.
Good point, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very good. Anything, all good? Anything else you wanted to highlight on the tree, the report?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to old business,
Oh, I'm just curious,
Yes.
where are the trees, the Arbor Day trees now?
The ones I picked up?
Yeah.
In my garage.
Okay,
right next to the horse, which is a little dangerous, but they're in the garage.
Thank you. Okay, for old business, I'll start out with the State of the City address that the mayor gave, and I was able to attend that, and Mike was there, and our former President Tim Warner was there as the city's engineer, and the tree board and our $1 million grant got a very nice shout out from the mayor, so that was very exciting to see, and I also got a chance to attend the mayor's charitable gala, and good things coming. So that's under old business. Anyone have any other old business to bring up?
I'm too new for that.
Okay. How about new business then? Anything under new business?
Yes,
Okay.
I had brought up before the idea of our doing a presentation at the public library, and I've been in touch with Robin Cohen about available Saturdays in June. The 8th, I think, would be too soon, after Farmers Market. The 15th is workable at 1 o'clock, however, I am unavailable, and I would really like to be there for that.
Who's going to give the presentation? I thought you were.
Well, I
Betsy. Gotcha.
got a 30-minute PowerPoint already that
So have you come up with a date between the two of you?
What I'm thinking of is now maybe looking to June 22nd. It's later than I would like it to be, but it's still well within the season. It still gives us time before our next
Well,
farmers
you
market.
two want to get together, firm up and see what works best, and then
Right.
then report back at the next meeting?
Well, I need to sort of solidify a date with Robin.
Why don't you pick a day that works for you?
Okay.
And then I can adjust my schedule.
Okay, and I'm supposed to talk to Robin tomorrow, and I'll see if the 22nd is available. Ideally, I prefer 11 o'clock time, but 1 o'clock would work as well.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And so
My
part of
only
it,
question is about their AV equipment. I mean, I can have my, my show on my laptop if they have the
yeah,
means
they
to
have the
connect it
connectors for
to.
that and a nice screen and everything, so.
Okay,
So your presentation, information about the tree board, also information in regard
now
to.
my presentation does not include the tree board.
No, but we want to
It's
have.
about trees.
We want to have some information. It's being presented by the tree board.
Oh, sure.
This is a thing.
Well, we can just make
Yeah,
copies
That's a
of the
great
same
idea,
thing.
yeah.
Right, yeah, and some of the stuff that Mike
I can
has,
get more
As-
ink by then.
right. Maybe we can have a video, hello, I'm Mike in the New Urban. Welcome, whatever. So any and all information to sort of bolster their knowledge of us and how to contact us and.
Okay, that'll be on a handout.
Right.
And
Right.
you have a copy of the last one I made.
Somewhere here.
But no, my presentation, which I've made before, but I can kind of tweak it to Michigan City,
Sure.
will be about basic tree care,
Right.
selection of trees,
Yeah.
trees to we encourage people to have and not the right tree in the right place,
Right.
things like that.
Sure, yeah, all of that.
Well, excellent.
One
And you
other
can find
item,
us every first Saturday at the farmer's market. And also maybe talk a little bit about, if we have some more information or ideas about potential, the tree steward program and volunteer, all of that,
Yes, we can hype
It's a
everything we've
PR.
got, right.
right. Okay,
one other item I just wanted to mention, is anyone planning to attend, you might have seen the Indiana DNR posted an invitation for a Tree City program that's taking place
Yes.
in Elkhart.
I did register for that.
You did, I will be attending as well, so we
Great.
could talk if
Oh, yeah.
you want to.
Carpool, yeah. I think I may have registered twice, a couple weeks
Okay.
apart, because they never sent anything back.
Okay,
So
yeah,
2 weeks went by and I'm like, did I register for
okay,
that? So
but yeah, the two of us will be going,
Excellent.
so we can.
put that on my to-do list. To Elkhart.
I'm not going.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna mention under new business, and I know there's just so much going on, but Mike, I wanted to get this on your annual list of many things to do. The Tree City application is an online application that's pretty straightforward, and I can provide what I submitted this year, and I don't think it's gonna change all that much, but I think that's done by the fall. You know, also in the fall, I think October, ordering the 2025 seedlings from the DNR for next year's order. So after we have this Saturday, we see how quickly they go and which ones we can look at, which trees, which species we want to order for next year and quantities and things like that. But because it's never too early to start thinking about that.
I ordered them on the 3rd of October,
And some things were out.
and the ordering opened on the 1st, and a lot of things were out.
Pawpaw. Yeah.
Yeah, so we should get ahead on that.
Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
do
we
work
wouldn't be
quick.
on day one.
Okay.
Early on day one.
So in September, we should finalize what we want.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and, okay, under new business, Michael, I think you went through some of the selection of tree vendor, tree inventory vendor, and the online crew. Anything else you wanted to bring up?
I have, just as a reference, under new business, I have been visiting tree boards. And seeing how they do business, seeing what they had going on for Arbor Day. I have to say, I went to, last week, Thursday, I spent several hours with a tree board in the small town of North Liberty, their tree board, and I was actually very impressed with what they were, how prepared they were for their Arbor Day celebration. They did a party for the kids at the local library, and they had events set up with tables like this with actual pieces of tree for kids to understand about counting rings, and they had all these different species, all this different information. They went on nature walk through the school's nature center and picked out trees and were collecting leaves, what they could find, and pressing them, and then they had coloring books and crayons for kids. They had all kinds of stuff. Like I said, just for a small town, small tree board, and they were, so I was overwhelmed with how much they had thought up and were prepared to do. And they had 2 different events going, one at the school, one at the library. And like I said, they were, but like I said, I've just been attending different tree boards, different size. Fortunately, the guy who's in charge of South Bend's forestry department, he and I go way back. So it's amazing how different municipalities handle things and how they work within these budgets that are non-existent, much like ours. So it's, I was like I said, I've just been visiting tree boards, seeing what they do, and they likewise have been picking my brain. It was a lot of,
That's fantastic.
you know,
That's
have
good.
you run into this, and what do you do, or how did you do this? So it's been a great experience. So I wanted to bring that up.
And knowing, Michael, that we don't have much budget for you, There are some conferences coming up. There's no budget
Well,
for you to do those things?
the ISA conference, for instance,
Okay,
I actually do have money in my
Okay,
budget for the
good.
ISA.
Excellent.
Good.
the Partners in Community Forestry is actually, it's a national conference, but it's going to be in Chicago this year.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
That's a wonderful, I went when it was in Louisville, I never say that the way you're supposed to.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, it's a great one. I'll be going as NERC, so we could always carpool, so you don't
Yeah.
have to pay mileage.
Shoot me up.
Okay, yeah.
When
And
is that?
that is in November, I believe.
I've got it on my list of things to do to ask you to send out to
Okay,
us. that,
yes.
So,
Another thing that I didn't bring up to the board, but I guess you could be made aware of, Indiana has an arborist, IAA, Indiana Arborist Association. They're coming up with a program to have an intern. So I'm on the list. I've already
Excellent.
told them I will take an intern. So the city will end up with an arborist intern
fabulous.
also. So the one-man show is we're doubling in size.
Fantastic.
So we'll have an intern.
That's wonderful.
When would they start?
Don't have a clue.
It sounds like it's all very
You have to-
preliminary.
Yeah, I've known about it for months and months. My name's in the hat. I officially said, when you get to that point, put me on the list as one of the guys who'll take one.
Excellent.
So we'll have an intern. And I do have one thing, I guess this is new business. I don't know if it's new business or comments, but
Okay.
jump together.
Uh-huh.
I would like to make a request that the tree board consider moving our time closer, not as late in the day, 6:30. And this is just on a personal note because I live in a different time zone. So it's 9:45,
Yeah,
in my work.
yeah, I'm open to that. Why don't we talk about it at the next meeting? But
Yeah,
everyone
so
think about it for over the next
I'm
month.
going
Put it
out
on the agenda.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Because-
fine with me. How
Why don't
much
we move it
earlier?
today?
Six?
I feel like Jim to be there.
Or 5:30.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah, anytime earlier, it would be good.
We could
Um,
put it out today very quickly. I'm on board.
I would
Sounds
like to wait for the president to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, surprising. Come
Yes, that's true.
And I also think give everyone a month to mull it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, if you think about it, 5:30, 6 o'clock would work for people.
I'm good with any.
That's good
How
to
about
know.
if you poll the members of the tree board and ask them,
I
what time?
picked a good meeting to
work?
take over as president, didn't I? Okay,
I put my vote to
Were you about
Katie
to say
here.
something
So,
about
No, I was just gonna say 5:30 would be,
okay, so you'll see an email from me on it with a poll
Yeah.
soon. Okay,
and that's all I have.
very good, very good, thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw in one other thing, just a reminder that there's 7 of us on the board, 4 is a quorum. So I was glad that Dominique let me know today that she's not able to make it. But if any of you are not able to make a meeting, let Jim, or probably all of us know as soon as you can. And a number of days to reschedule, if we do have to reschedule a meeting, Laura?
48 hours is required
Business.
for business hours, yes, so the weekend doesn't count, holiday doesn't count.
Right, okay.
The agenda has to be out before noon and 48 hours, so it's really more like 50 hours.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, and then, Michael, you, under public comments, you were able to be present today, which I was very pleased, and hear about the trees are picked up, that's great. So,
But yeah, next meeting I will not be.
okay, so that's why you prepare the June agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that has to go up to
Yeah.
the,
Well, do you have anything you want on the agenda? Let me know in the next couple weeks, and then
Yeah.
I'll add anything after that, but it'll probably be whatever you come up with.
okay.
Or send that to Jim, he'll be here. And then you said for me to prepare a media release?
Did I?
Yes, you did, I noticed that right away.
Oh, no, not to, One of the.
Prepare June,
The
groups that
agenda.
we
and
have
media
to
release.
let know is the media.
Yeah, that's what you do with the agenda.
And, yeah,
Got it. That's what that means, okay.
yeah, the clerk's office and the media, so.
Okay. Okay, comments then from the board members? Any comments from the board members? A third time, any comments from the board members? Comments from the public?
There's nobody.
Comments from the public? Can I repeat it a third time? Comments from the public? Okay, well, we have gone through our agenda. There's nothing else. I'd like a motion to.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we're out of here. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice.